For World Cup football, Czechoslovakia can still qualify for next summer's finals as runners-up in Group 7, but Switzerland have only pride to play for.
Czechoslovakia vastly improved their chances of qualification for the finals with their 2-1 home win over Portugal in Prague. With Belgium already almost certain of a place in Italy at the top of Group 7, it was all left to the Czechs and Portuguese to sort out the second qualifying spot. Michael Bílek was the Czech hero after Chovanec had been pulled down by goalkeeper Federico. It was Bílek who stepped up and shot home from the penalty spot. With the Czechs down to 10 men after Grija was sent off, Portugal equalised when Aguas produced a header after a dreadful mistake by goalkeeper Stejskal. Bílek, though, was the hero again with the all-important winner with this free kick just before the end. So a win against Switzerland could virtually put Czechoslovakia through to Italy. Welcome to the Sparta Stadium in Prague, a full house for this vital European Group 7 World Cup qualifying match. Czechoslovakia very much the favourites against Switzerland, and that's the situation in Group 7. Belgium, well, they are pretty certain to qualify, and the remaining second place in the group will be between Czechoslovakia and Portugal. Switzerland and Luxembourg have no chance. So they're the Czech team. And in front of their own fans, well, they know that a win here and in the remaining game in Portugal next month will put them through to Italy. The Swiss lineup and a first cap, number 11, young Marcel Heldmann, 22 years old. And it will be Switzerland in all white to kick off. They have no chance at all of qualification. They have one more qualifying match in the group after this, also next month, and that will be against the bottom country, Luxembourg. So just pride for the Swiss to play for. Number 6 is Marcel Koller, and we're on the way. Czechoslovakia in their famous red shirts and white shorts. Great World Cup record, Czechoslovakia. Runners-up, of course, in 1934 and 1962. But that first attack ends disappointingly. Martin Brunner in the Swiss goal. And needless to say, the Czech crowd, this huge crowd in the Sparta Stadium, will really get behind their men. Ideal conditions for good football. So with the Czechs, with a 2-1 win in their last match against Portugal behind them, capable of playing high-class stuff, we should see a first-class game. This is Straka. Free kick. Lehovi tries to win it, but this is Baumann for Switzerland. Another free kick to Czechoslovakia. Referee, Aho. Neat skills from him, and that's a lovely ball from Moravcik. But again, the finish disappointing. The cross from the right. And so another goal kick to Switzerland. Switzerland haven't reached a World Cup final since 1966, when it was held in England. Not one of the real powers of European football, it has to be said. Martin Brunner, their goalkeeper. This is Bilek. Helped on to Lehovi. Kadlic. Flag was already up. Free kick to Switzerland. Gijo gets it back from Tekilamas. That'll be a free kick. Heinz Hermann, the man brought down. 31 years old, Hermann, the most capped Swiss player, winning his 96th cap for Switzerland today. Hermann. Turkey Elmaz tries to put Bonvin away. Good cross from Bonvin, and well taken by Stejskal at the near post. Gets it back from Moravcik. Stejskal, still preferred in goal to Ludek Mikloško, the far more experienced Czech goalkeeper. Good bit of defending by Herbert Baumann. And a chance for the Swiss to break. Hermann again. Plays for Servet. Turkey Elmaz, good skills from him. Well, that silenced the crowd a little. This is Kubale, Turkey Elmaz, who plays for Servet. 4 goals in the group so far. Big, strong striker, and an example of his pace and strength there, but the shot well wide. This is Bilek, scorer of 2 goals, 2 vital goals in the last match against Portugal. This is Bilek again, pulled down this time by Weiss, Vladimir Weiss. So a frantic start to the game. Bilek takes it quickly to Moravcik. Not a good ball. Baumann gets it back to Brunner. Martin Brunner, who plays for Grasshoppers in Zurich, winning his 25th cap. No danger there to Stejskal's goal. That's after 7 minutes. No goal so far. Moravcik. Bilek. That's a good ball. Good running too. And that'll be a free kick as Hashik tried to break through. In fact, they waved on. Bielik again. So much stems from him at the back. Heldman. Played through to Herman. This is Baumann. Running outside is Bonvin. Tussle there with Kochian. So the first corner kick of the game to Switzerland. Well, it was well struck by Piferetti. Plays it Piferetti. But again, it was well wide of Stejska's goal. Hashik. Kadlec leaves it. And now it's Bielik again. Moravcik. That'll be a corner. So pressure at both ends. And now a chance for Czechoslovakia to put the Swiss defence under a little pressure. Josef Chovanec goes across to take the kick. Left-footed, so it should swing in. Turkey Yilmaz. Needs support. Herman. Lovely ball filtered through to Bonvin. But no trouble for Jan Steichmann. Inevitably, Bielak. Well, that was meant for Lohovi. But it's Kadlec who does the tidying up. Weiss. Lohovi. And it'll be a throw to Czechoslovakia on the far side. Hashik goes across to take it. Ivan Hashik from Sparta Prague, the Czech captain. Skuravi. And Herman gets it clear. Flag up on the far side. Skuravi, the man, caught offside. Gija. Weber. Gija again. Alain Gija. Heinz Hermann. Got a little space, opening up for him. Bonvin. The tussle there with Kadlec. And Bonvin wins it, but whistle had already gone. So free kick to Czechoslovakia. 12 minutes gone. Czechoslovakia 0, Switzerland 0. So far in Group 7, the Czechs have beaten Luxembourg 2-0 and 4-0. Drew 0-0 at home with Belgium and then lost 2-1 away. They beat Switzerland 1-0 away last June, Scuravi getting that goal. And in their last match, the important one, Portugal beaten 2-1 at home. Moravcik. Good skills. Let him down that time. And it's Weber who can get back to clear. Michael Bielek. Scuravi can't reach that one. So Kadlec with the throw for Czechoslovakia. Looked like handball against Hasic. And now it's Bolba who loses out to Hasic. Well, screams for a penalty, but there was never any hint of that. Tackle by Kocian. Herman. Pifaretti. Herman. Turkey Yilmaz. Dangerous cross. And in at the far post was Marcel Heldman. And the Swiss have got a second corner. So Czechoslovakia by no means having things their own way, as Christopher Bolba comes across to take the kick with his left foot. Baumann. Hare gets it out to Baumann again. An easy one for Kocian. And that's a free kick. Reliable defender, Jan Kocian, just really starting to establish himself in the Czech side. He's 31 years old, Kocian, but this is his 9th cap, so it's taken him time. Quarter of an hour gone, still no goals. Tackle by Dominic Hare. And again it's Hasic with the throw-in for Czechoslovakia. Can throw long. Collar making a little mess of the clearance. Well, Bielek might in fact have done a little better there, as the defenders and the goalkeeper all stood and watched it. Herman. Kept it in well, Heldman. But then the cross disappointing. Marcel Heldman plays for Bettingen, winning his first cap, just 22 years old. So just settling into international football. Bielek. Chobanic. Kadlec. Bielek. kick again. So referee Aho needs to get a grip on things now if the game is to flow. It's been quite frantic for the first 15 or 16 minutes. Moravcik. It's a good cross. Great goal. Skoravi, the man who's got it. Tomas Skoravi. His first goal for his country. And it all came from this lovely cross from Lubomir Moravcik. It's perfectly placed. Goalkeeper drawn out in no man's land. And Tomas Skoravi, an empty net. So after 17 minutes, just what Czechoslovakia wanted, and Tomas Skoravi has given them the lead. But it really was a superb left-footed cross by Moravcik. So that'll settle things in the Sparta Stadium. And that's the situation with just about 18 minutes gone. For Switzerland, but that's an easy one for Hasek, who is then pulled back and may have got an elbow in the face. Pifaretti, the man involved, but everything calmed down, and I'm sure Ivan Hasek will be all right. Plays for Sparta Prague. Last year's Footballer of the Year in Czechoslovakia. Hasek. The kick taken by Katic. Pifaretti can't catch that one. Skoravi, the goal scorer. Throw to Czechoslovakia. Skoravi. Hasek gets it across. Bilek couldn't quite control it. And maybe a chance for Switzerland to break. Well, a bit of pushing there, I'm sure, by Turkey Elmaz. Now, the protest coming from Straka. Well, it certainly looked like a push. And the free kick given. Jan Stejskal, 12th cap today for Czechoslovakia. To Michael Bilek. Jovanic wins it well. Straka. Oh, it's a bad one from František Straka. Herman. Bonvin run himself into a little trouble there. So Christopher Bonvin was always really running up a blind alley there after his initial control had just let him down a little. Shepherded out, good defending by Koller. Free kick again. Just a little untidy at the moment, and referee Aho really needs to get a grip on things. So Stejskal, long kick. Lehovi, well, no real power in the shot. is Baumann. And Brunner tries Baumann again. Dominique Herr. Turkey Omaz. Good turn of pace, and this time the free kick goes to Switzerland. Herbert Baumann will take it. Fourth cap today, plays for Lucerne. Good header away by Straka. Moravcik. Good skills. Lots of space. Flag up. Swiss back forward pushed up quickly. And Lubomir Moravcik might well have done better to have run it himself. Well, that's the situation as we're halfway through the first half. This European World Cup qualifying Group 7. Vital game for Czechoslovakia, who have one more match to play against Portugal next month. It's a corner. So Marcel Collard from Grasshoppers in Zurich goes across to take the kick. Right-footed in-swinger. Throw to Switzerland. Bonvin. Free kick again. Milan Lahovi, the man brought down in the centre circle. The suspicion it looks far worse than it was, though he was caught from behind. Moravcik. Ferretti does well to Dominique Herr. Yet another free kick, and it's been so untidy for the last 10 minutes or so. Whistle going all the time. Petty little infringements, and the Czechs especially just need to settle down and get their passing game together a little and maybe establish some sort of rhythm. They lead by 1-0. And they're very much the better side. And it's very much in their own interest to start to play some decent football. Yet another free kick. Foul again on Herbert Baumann. Looks as if he's got an ankle knock. But I have a feeling he'll get up to take the free kick. So we're approaching the half-an-hour mark. Czechoslovakia leading. Goal by Tomáš Skuravi. Baumann. Good header away by Straka. Well, that was dangerous, played back in well by Christopher Bonvin. But no real alertness in the middle. Bonval, who plays for Servette. Good play by Moravcik again. This is better. Lehovi. Baumann does well to get it away. Good tackling back by Hasic. Chance now for Skuravi. Flag up. Well, disappointment for the crowd, but the flag was instantly raised. And you'll be able to see why. Skuravi offside. He's got good skills though, Thomas Skuravi. He's a tall man, looks awkward and gangly, but he's very difficult to dispossess and has good skills. Could easily have had a second goal there. This is Weber. Tackling quickly from Jan Kocian. But again, referee Hachel decides that it was a foul on Marcel Koller. Indeed, he's given the throw-in. This is Weber. Moravcik to Bilek. So Jan Stejskal so far had very little to do in the Czech goal. Referee waves play on. Herman. Good interception by Bilek. Bilek again. The man who very much makes things tick, comes deep, mainly on the left for the Czechs. Lehovi. Well, this is better. This is really what Czechoslovakia need to do, is to get their passing game together and play it around accurately. Lehovi again. Bilek inevitably in support. Moravcik, good skills. It was always a little too close to go, but it caused problems for Martin Brunner in the Swiss goal, dipping under the crossbar. And so it's another corner kick to Czechoslovakia. Really is a fine crosser of the ball, Lubomir Moravcik. Well, he's always prepared to try things. Michael Bilek, 2 goals, 1 from a penalty, 1 from a free kick in the last game against Portugal here. And this was well worked. Everybody expecting an orthodox cross. Just bobbled a little in front of him as he hit it. But the idea was sound. Herman to Heldman. This is Gija. But the interception by Kadlec. Chovanec brought down, but the referee waves play on. Now then, Lehovi. Skuravi to Moravcik. Chance for Herman. tried to thread it through for Turkey Yilmaz, but it was almost always a little too far in front of Turkey Yilmaz. Good one this time by Kadlec. Tackle by Gija. Baumann. That's a glorious ball from Bielek to Hasek, and a great cross from the Czech captain. Heldman to Herman. The pulling on Piferetti. Gija leaves it for Herman. In fact, Herman leaves it for Gija. They still take it short to Koller. Koller again. Baumann. Not a good cross. Well, that's dangerous. Bielek back. Calmly done. Throw taken. So we approach half-time with Czechoslovakia leading by 1-0. By no means enough for them. They've certainly had the better of things, but I'm sure they'd like at least a two-goal cushion as Moravcik goes tumbling. Skuravi down 2. But again the whistle had gone, and the free kick goes to Switzerland. Herman to Baumann. This is Weber. Dangerous, given away. It's all a little tight and intricate in there as Moravcik tries to get away from Piferetti. Down he goes again. And this first half really has been littered with little infringements and stoppages. Good run by Hasek. Leaves it though for Skuravi. Hasek. And the corner conceded by Gija. Josef Chovanec with his left foot to curl it in towards Martin Brunner's goal. Chance for Turkey Yilmaz. No support. Has to go it alone. And the defending was well done by Straka. Hasek running outside him. Flicked on by Nahobi. Hermann. Footballer of the Year 5 times in Switzerland. Heinz Hermann. Michael Bielek for Czechoslovakia. Sure they'd like to get one before the interval, just to calm things down. Nahobi. Half checked. Just a little too far in front of Thomas Skuravi. Ball out of play. Throw to Switzerland. Herbert Baumann. Infield to Alain Guijat. Baumann again. Spiferetti. Well, that was always a little too optimistic. Bielek with the throw. Moravcik. Lubomir Moravcik, a little disappointed with that. Plays for Plastica Nitra and wins his 11th cap today. Now, Heinz Hermann for Switzerland. Heldman. Good ball, actually. Turkey Elmaz made the run forward through the centre of defence. And now a chance for the Czechs to launch a counter-attack. Moravcik. Skuravi. Appeals for a free kick. And Moravcik disappointed. The play waved on. And this is Heinz Hermann. The cross, well, it was only just a little too high for Turkey Elmaz. And that really could have been danger for the Czechs. Kugelai, Turkey Elmaz. 4 goals already in the group for Switzerland. And he could have got a 5th there. That really would have set the cat amongst the pigeons. Weber won't catch that one. In fact, it's left for Bonvin, who switched wings. More annoyance for Lubomir Moravcik. Well, we have had a lot of whistle from referee Haho. But of course, it's the players who commit the offences. And there has been a lot of unnecessary tripping and pulling and pushing. Hermann. Made back in by Hermann again. Guijat. Weber. Well, Heinz Hermann complaining that he was pulled back as we're inside the last minute of the first half. Czechoslovakia leading 1-0. Chovanec leaves it for Hasek. To Bielek. Goes the half-time whistle, so that's the situation after the first 45 minutes then. Czechoslovakia 1, Switzerland 0, and we'll be back with the second half after the break.
Britain's biggest spectator event and motorsport spectacular. The world's finest drivers take on the forest tracks and the worst the weather can throw at them. We'll be with them and reporting every day for 6 days at a time to suit you. The Lombard RAC Rally on Screen Sport. We start with the preview on Saturday, November the 18th.
Introducing the revolutionary Roller Ruler. Roller Ruler, an amazing high-tech geometric tool that is 5 instruments in one. The Roller Ruler's patented rolling mechanism allows you to draw perfect vertical lines to any length. And the multi-hold measuring edge lets you draw straight parallel lines as close or as far apart as you want. For horizontal lines, simply roll a ruler 1 or 2 centimeters apart and draw your line. Now you have perfect graph paper. And look at this, the Roller Ruler is a compass. Now you can make perfect circles of any size. Use it as a T-square for drawing exact small dimensions. As a protractor, Roller Ruler can produce and measure any angle with amazing precision. The revolutionary Roller Ruler is perfect for home and office. And here's how to order.
The special tele-buy price for the Roller Ruler is only £5.99. Order that second one for the office, and the cost is only £9.99, a saving of £2. To order, call your local number now, or write to your nearest address.
We, the Italian Pen Company, invite you to try the Maestro, a designer fountain pen with metal barrel and cap. This golden nib is tough enough to take this and still keep writing. Designed never to leak, there's a double cartridge ink system. You can pay a lot for designer pens, but in this promotion you pay just $19.99, and that's not just for the Maestro. You also get this superb executive pen with matching metal barrel, plus a fine liner, a professionally styled drafting pencil with gravity-led feed system, and this compact pocketbook pen. But there's more, another complete 5-piece set for students, plus this magnificent 20-piece collection with 20 different colored inks. That's 30 pieces for only $19.99, and you'll get this full refill pack. Yes, that's 30 quality instruments plus refill pack for just $19.99. Order now.
Order now through this special TV offer. Call your customer service office now for local currency details. All orders come with our 30-day money-back guarantee, so call us now or any time.
Welcome back to the Sparta Stadium in Prague. Czechoslovakia 1, Switzerland 0. That's the half-time score. A disappointing first half with just the one goal from Tomáš Skuravi. And this is Moravčic's lovely left-footed cross, which provided Skuravi with his opportunity at the far post. Goalkeeper nowhere, totally deceived by the cross. And that was the Czech goal. And there's the goal scorer, Tomáš Skuravi, his first goal for his country in 16 internationals. So referee Aho prepares to get us underway. Czechoslovakia in red shirts. Switzerland, who have no chance of qualifying, along with the bottom country in the group, Luxembourg. Belgium at the top, pretty well already sure of qualification, and so the one remaining place between Czechoslovakia and Portugal, and a win for Czechoslovakia in this match will take them 2 points clear of Portugal, with the last game to come in Portugal next month. So it will put the Czechs in a very strong position indeed. The Swiss, who have little or no record in recent years of qualification in terms of the World Cup. They played in '66 in England and haven't qualified for a final since. Whereas the Czechs, of course, are a great force in world football, or have been. World Cup finalists in '34 and '62, runners-up on both occasions. European Championship winners in 1976, third in 1960, and third again in 1980. They really have been a great force in the world game. Not quite so good in recent years, but Josef Vengloš, their manager, building a new side. Flag up for offside. Herman. That's a poor ball. Kochian for Czechoslovakia. Referee waves play on. Herman, neat little 1-2 with Christopher Bonvin. Herman again. Support this time from Baumann. Hashik goes tumbling, and this time it is a free kick. Ivan Hashik, the Czech captain. The Czechs certainly won't be happy with just the 1-0 lead they have. They need to sew things up as quickly as possible. Another goal would help enormously, and maybe then they could settle down and play some football. That's a free kick. The foul by Marcel Collard. Smile from referee Aho. Hashik starting to organise things. 26 years old, 37th cap for Ivan Hashik. And there's Dr. Venglosh out of his seat, Czech's manager. When Herman had gone forward from the regulation 10 yards, so back they go again. No real problems for Martin Brunner in the Swiss goal. Well struck by Miroslav Kadlec, but no real danger for Brunner. This is Bilek. Czechs really do need to slow things down a little bit and get their passes together. It's all been a little frantic, and for a side of their quality, it's been unnecessary. Kadlec. Good chase by Lahovi. He could still win it. Good goalkeeping, though, by Brunner, who'd read the situation well. Well, it was Skuravi, the goal scorer, who got the tackle in. Skuravi, interestingly enough, also scored in the game in Switzerland last June, the winner there, which gave Czechoslovakia a 1-0 win over Switzerland. Well, this is dangerous, and suddenly Turkey Elmaz was clear. Seems to think that he might have got a little extra out of that. Hint of handball as Turkey Elmaz took it down, and then a hint too that he was pulled back as he hooked the shot over the bar. But he got clear of the Czech defence. There's the pull back, which certainly prevented him getting a good contact on the shot. But there was a hint too before that of handball as he controlled it. That's the situation with 5 minutes gone in the second half in this European World Cup qualifying Group 7. Kochian took a little too long with the clearance, and it will be Baumann with the throw-in. Herbert Baumann from Lucerne. In fact, the referee has given a free kick, presumably for foot up, when Baumann came in on the tackle. It's a chance now for Czechoslovakia in the shape of Kadlec to move it forward. A corner. Jan Kochian, the man with the header. So Jan Stajskal, who's had very little to do in the Czech goal so far, now perhaps with an opportunity for some activity. Christopher Bonva with his left foot with the Swiss corner. It's good play by Collin, and this time it's a goal kick. Marcel Collin from Grasshoppers thought he'd won another corner. 33rd cap for Collin. And it's Jan Stajskal with the goal kick. Hacek. This big crowd in the Sparta Stadium, which is absolutely jam-packed, will start to get just a little nervous unless Czechoslovakia can pick up a second goal fairly quickly, just to give them that little extra cushion. Miroslav Kadlec. Tackle on Moravcik by Dominic Hare. Both countries warming up some substitutes. Skurabi. Bonva. Well, it was telegraphed and well read by Kocian. Kocian got a little knock for his trouble there. The tackle was a little late by Marcel Collin, and he's going to get a yellow card. So Marcel Collin goes into the referee's book. Kocian with the tackle, and then after the ball had gone, he got a little knock for his trouble. All right, though. So we can get underway again with a Czechoslovakia free kick. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Czechoslovakia lead Switzerland by 1 goal to 0. Moravcik, man who made that first goal, probably play again. Didn't quite cut it back far enough. Alain Guijo with the throw in for Switzerland. Plays his football for Saint-Étienne in France. Guijo. Hacek. Well, he was always a little ambitious from the Czech captain. He can strike the ball very well. Bit of activity on both benches. We could well be seeing some substitutions fairly soon, I think. Heinz Hermann for Switzerland. 96th cap today for Hermann. Hacek. Skurabi. Moravcik. Chovanec. Offside. Flag already up against Milan Luhovi. Verhovy, who's come into the Czech side because of the absence of Stanislav Grija, the man who was sent off in the game against Portugal. But now then, Koller gets it across and wins the corner kick for Switzerland. That's the substitute on for Switzerland, Andermatt. Baumann. Throw to the Swiss. And it looks as if Kadlec has had a knock in the face. And that was a good save by Stejskal. First real action. But Miroslav Kadlec is in a little trouble with a facial injury. And there's the save by Stejskal. Saw it a little late, scrambled it clear. Referee waving Kadlec off the pitch. Corner to Switzerland. Second chance for Marcel Koller. And it looks now as if Vaclav Nemecek is going to come on. And I'm just wondering whether that injury to Miroslav Kadlec means that he won't be able to continue. Dangerous. Well, there was a little bit of pushing beforehand, before the shot came in. But it now looks as if we will indeed have a Czech substitution. Nemecek ready to come on. I'm not quite sure where the pushing was. The shot was wide in the end, but the free kick given. Hermann. Baumann. Well, Hermann couldn't quite keep it in, and now Dr. Josef Vengloš comes to the touchline to make his substitution, but I'm pretty sure he's just waiting to see if Miroslav Kadlec can in fact continue with just about half an hour left. Czechoslovakia lead 1-0. Push in the back this time on Skuravi by Dominic Hare. It does look as if Miroslav Kadlec will take no further part in this match. And now Dr. Vengloš again comes to the side. It is Vaclav Nemecek from Sparta who will come on to win his 14th cap for Czechoslovakia. Also came on as substitute in the last match against Portugal. So Miroslav Kadlec will take no further part in this game, and on comes Nemecek. Wearing number 15. I imagine he will fit into the back four as Čobanec takes the free kick. Flag was up. And now with less than half an hour left, it has to be said that Czechoslovakia is still far from impressive. And the Swiss, who drew their last game against Belgium in Switzerland, a 2-2 draw against the group leaders, showing yet again that they're capable of making it difficult, certainly for any side. Herman. All rebounded off Hashik. Now the substitute, Andermatt. Baumann. No free kick. Bombin. Good play by Christopher Bombin. Whistle's already gone, pushing by Andermatt. And the free kick goes to Czechoslovakia. Switzerland have one more match to play in Group 7. They will play Luxembourg next month, but that will have no relevance as far as the group is concerned. Luxembourg at the bottom of the group, Switzerland 2 points in front of them, but neither with any chance of qualifying for Italy. Gija. I imagine Lehobi must have handled that in the tackle. Linesman was only about 10 yards away from the incident. Herman. Good run forward by Dominic Hare, who's pulled down. Knock on the knee. Uli Stilica is in charge of Switzerland these days, the former West German international, and I'm just wondering whether he will think about any changes. With now just about 25 minutes left to play. Czechoslovakia still lead by 1 goal to 0, but the free kick goes to Switzerland. Jan Stejskal. Herman. Well, Skuravi could not possibly have been 10 yards away, but the referee happy with things, and it's Skuravi. Thomas Skuravi again. Pulled down by Herman. Really is deceptive, Skuravi. Long legs, looks awkward, but even in tight situations, he's got good control and is difficult to dispossess. Not hurt, I'm sure. And once he confirmed that Czechoslovakia had indeed got the free kick, then he's back into the action. No problems at all. Baumann. Well, it really is all untidy and a little bit sloppy at times. Whistle had already gone for a free kick to Switzerland, but so typical of the game throughout. Herbert Baumann to Alain Guichet. Weber leaves it for Guichet to Herman. Herman, neat little flick. controlled by Skuravi, who again is pulled down. But again the referee waves play on. Heinz Hermann. Hit it well, and it could have been awkward, bouncing just in front of Stechkal, but he got his body behind it. Skuravi, control lets him down this time. Bonvin to Hermann. Heinz Hermann goes tumbling this time. No free kick this time, as it looks as if we could perhaps have a second Swiss substitution. That was Marco Lorenz, getting a little rub down perhaps before he's sent on by Uli Stilica. Skuravi. Neat turn. Straka. Baumann, who's had a good game at left back. Neat skills, been prepared to work up the touchline too, and he's defended well. This is Hermann. Now 31 years old, playing for Servette. Nearing 100 caps, 96th today. And now indeed comes the second Swiss substitution, and it looks like Marco Lorenz to come on, and I think it's going to be Christopher Bonvin who will come off. No. So on then comes Marco Lorenz to win his first cap for Switzerland. 23 years old, plays for Sion. Moravcik switched wings for a little while, wandered in field, shooting chance perhaps. Down he goes, appeals for a penalty. Looked a little bit of a dive, and referee Haho will have none of it. One or two objects thrown onto the field, and we can do without that, certainly. So a corner kick to Czechoslovakia. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, in fact, in this second half. And they still lead by 1 goal to nil. No problems for Martin Brunner. Bilek. But a quieter second half. Mikael Bilek. Hashik. Beats the offside trap, but couldn't quite reach it. And with under 20 minutes left, Czechoslovakia will be happy that they've got a 1-0 lead, but I'm sure they will want more goals to ease the tension. As it is, they win a corner kick. Difficult one to the far post. Moravcik takes the throw quickly. Chovanec. Moravcik. Bilek. Well, he hasn't had too many chances, Mikhail Bilek, to exhibit his shooting power. But he cracked that one well. Nicely set up for him by Moravcik. Certainly beat the goalkeeper and wasn't that far wide. Gija to Herman. Herman again. Gija. Too strong. And a second substitution made by Dr. Benglosh, the Czech manager, and it's Wilhelm Heravi coming on this time, and off goes Vladimir Weiss. So Heravi on, Weiss off, midfield player for a midfield player. And Heravi wins his 8th cap for Czechoslovakia. Plays for Baník Ostrava. Well, down goes Skuravi again. Spent a lot of this game on the floor. And yet another free kick. Match has been littered with free kicks, most of them for petty infringements. And even allowing for the fact that so much rests on the game, it's made it very untidy and disappointing. Chovanec with that shot. Sweetly struck. It looked as if there may just have been a little deflection, but it's a goal kick which is given. Chovanec bringing it in on his left foot. And indeed, there was a deflection. So a free kick to Switzerland. And it will be Marco Lorenz to take it. In fact, he leaves it for Andermatt. Heinz Hermann to Baumann. 15 minutes left. Good play by Marco Lorenz. Does well there. The header from Turkey Elmaz just over. From Heinz Hermann. Again, referee allows play to continue. Alan Gija gets it to Baumann. Hermann. Done a lot of good work in deep positions, Heinz Hermann, but might like to have seen him gone a little further forward at times. Almost broke for Turkey Elmaz then. Wins it again. Good battling back. And a good cross. And it'll be a Swiss corner. Turkey Elmaz complaining that there was a push in the area. Well, certainly both players took a tumble. And that's what Uli Stilica thinks of it. Suddenly Czechoslovakia are having to do a little defending. Herman. Czech free kick. Nemeček. Good run by Nemeček. No foul. That is Moravcik pushed over. So 12 minutes left. Still Czechoslovakia lead by 1-0. There'll be precious points, but as a performance, it's been nothing more than functional. Jovanic. Moravcik. Bielik inside. Behovy. And it's Hasek who just put it past the post. I think the flag was already up anyway for offside. And a silly little bit of pushing. Well, appeals for a handball by the Czechs, and certainly there was more than a hint of it. But whether it was deliberate or not is another matter. And it's Hasek who rolls the ball past the far post. Nemeček. Just an element of frustration now creeping in with 11 minutes left and just the one goal separating the sides. Heinz Hermann for Switzerland. Baumann. Jovanic this time takes a tumble, wins the free kick. Ball played back to Stejskal, and referee wisely this time waves play on. Martin Brunner in the Swiss goal. Hardly had a save to make in this second half. Czechs have had a lot of possession, but haven't really threatened. The last ball in the last third of the field, the last ball in, has been extremely poor. Giza now for Switzerland. We're inside the last 10 minutes. Dominique Herr. Andermatt to Hermann. To Yilmaz. Good play. Well, now then, Hermann certainly went down. Bodies flying all over the place. But a good Swiss attack. Czechs still have some defending to do. Stejskal. Anxious looking. Dr. Venglosh in the background. There he is. And on this side, Uli Stielike, the Swiss coach. Hermann for Switzerland. Free kick, Turkey Yilmaz. the man this time who's got a knock on the ankle. Battled away bravely up front, largely unsupported. So it's interesting that in this last 5 minutes or so, it's Switzerland who are doing the attacking, finishing the stronger, so it would seem. But a goal down, and an anxious look at the watch from Josef Englosch. So what can the Swiss do from here? Stechgau. Well, again, the wall is broken early. Nothing like 10 yards away. Giesche to Heldman. Marcel Heldman again. Well, that was a bad ball. Six minutes left. Czechoslovakia 1, Switzerland 0. And this will win for Czechoslovakia, assuming they hold on for these remaining 6 minutes. Will take them very firmly into second place behind Belgium, who should qualify comfortably. They have to play Luxembourg in their last match. And so the one remaining important match in the group will be the one in Portugal next month between Portugal and Czechoslovakia. But with a 2-point cushion, the Czechs heavy favourites now to go through with Belgium from Group 7. Free kick to Czechoslovakia again. Well, almost as much activity on the bench as there is on the field at the moment. Skuravi, the man brought down. Thomas Skuravi, the goal scorer. On his feet again. Injuries all round. Well, they'll be pleased with the result, if not with the performance. And I suppose when World Cup qualification is involved, then that is the prime thing. 5 minutes left. So a free kick to Czechoslovakia, and I just wonder whether Michael Bielek will perhaps try one this time. He scored the winner against Portugal from a similar position. Maybe it was 5 yards or so closer. Čovanec, Josef Čovanec, also over the ball. Rudi Stilica goes back to his seat on the Swiss bench. 6 men in the wall. Josef Čovanec, Michael Bielek. It'll be one of these two. Čovanec with his left foot or Bielek with his right. Bielek going back a long way. He may be lining something up, certainly. He can certainly hit them. In fact, it's Čovanec who tries it. Bielek now, little chip forward for the substitute, Huravi. Oh, and a good save by Bruna. Well, the first real action. And Bruna does well to tip it over. Good chance. So a corner kick to Czechoslovakia, which Čovanec will take. We're inside the last 5 minutes. Bielek! And that's done it, that sealed it for Czechoslovakia. Yet again, Michal Bielek has done it. The man who got the 2 goals in the last match against Portugal has got the vital one here again. Hit it on the volley, and Brunner, as it came through a crowd of players, had no chance. Corner very deliberately aimed wide by Čovanic. He hit it well, and Brunner had no chance. May just have been a little deflection too. So Michal Bilek gets his 6th goal for Czechoslovakia in 14 internationals, and that's the situation as Hašek now breaks forward. Czech captain just manages to keep it in. Moravcik. Oh, a great goal! Lubomir Moravcik. So 2 goals in the space of a minute, and they've waited a long time for it, but that really has settled it. And Dr. Benglosh, up off his seat, he's delighted. It really was a terrific strike by Moravcik. And again, Brunner, no chance with that one. Set up by Hašek, the captain, but a lot still for Moravcik to do. Came in on his right foot, but it really was a lovely strike. Far top corner, and no goalkeeper has a chance with those. First goal for his country, Lubomir Moravcik. And suddenly it's all changed round. 3-0, and delight for the Czech fans. We're inside the last minute of normal time, and from 1-0 and holding on, they're now 3 up and comfortably placed to go through. And all these goals, of course, so important in terms of goal difference, because if it stays like this, Czechoslovakia now in the group in there, 7 matches, have scored 13 goals to 3 against, so a goal difference of 10 plus 10. And Portugal, who will be 2 points adrift anyway, have scored 11 and conceded 8, so the goal difference is 3. So it means virtually that even in the last match against Portugal, even if they were to lose, Portugal would have to beat Czechoslovakia by 8 clear goals, and that's just not possible. Or likely anyway. So into injury time, Czechoslovakia 3, Switzerland 0. An extraordinary transformation in these last 5 minutes. From 1-0 down and struggling a little, it's now 3-0 to Czechoslovakia. Switzerland not finished yet though. Dominique Herr. So delight for the Czech fans in the Sparta Stadium. Free kick to Czechoslovakia. We're into injury time. Throw in, which Baumann will take for Switzerland. Nemecek with the header. Referee Haho, another look at his watch. Herman. Well, the last rights now. There's no way that Czechoslovakia can come back into it, and indeed Czechoslovakia have won by 3-0. Skuravi, Thomas Skuravi in the first half, giving them the lead, and then Bilek and Moravcik getting the second goals. And this is how Group 7 looks. Belgium through and qualified. Czechoslovakia, well, they look as if they will go through. They just have to meet Portugal in the final match in Portugal. So a 3-0 win for Czechoslovakia. Skuravi in the first half, and then Michal Bilek, and yet another goal for him. This was the first one. Moravcik doing all the work, really was a lovely cross. And Skuravi with a header. His first goal for Czechoslovakia, and great delight. And then after they'd struggled, in the last 5 minutes, it was that man, Michal Bilek, who got their second from the corner kick. 2-0. And then within a minute, even more joy. Hasek, the captain, doing so well near the byline. And it was Lubomir Moravcik who got the third. So joy then in Prague for Czechoslovakia. Final score, Czechoslovakia 3, Switzerland 0, and Czechoslovakia on their way to Italy.